What if I told you entire countries can go broke just like people? Not because they don't have money, but because they make the same financial mistakes again and again. From economic collapse to hyperinflation to complete financial disaster. So the real question is, why do countries go bankrupt? Let's start with part one, a simple explanation. Let's break it down. Just like individuals, countries also earn money and spend money. They earn through taxes, exports, and resources. And they spend on infrastructure, salaries, defense, and public services. But here's the problem. When a country spends more than it earns, it starts borrowing money. And borrowing is where the danger begins. Moving on, part two, the debt trap. At first, borrowing seems harmless. Governments take loans to grow the economy, build roads, improve systems, create jobs. But if the money is wasted or poorly managed, debt starts piling up. And soon, they're not borrowing to grow anymore. They're borrowing just to survive. To pay old debts, they take new loans. This is called a debt trap. And once a country enters this cycle, getting out becomes extremely difficult. Moving on. Part 3. Printing money. Now here's where things get worse. Some countries try to solve the problem by printing more money. Sounds easy, right? But printing money without real growth leads to one dangerous thing: inflation. And in extreme cases, hyperinflation, where prices rise so fast, money becomes almost worthless. People lose savings, businesses collapse, and the economy starts falling apart. Part 4. Real reasons. 2. 3320. So why does all this happen? It usually comes down to a few key reasons. Bad financial decisions, corruption, overdependence on loans, weak economic planning, and sometimes unexpected crises like wars or global recessions. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Countries don't collapse overnight. It happens slowly, through years of poor decisions. Moving on, part 5, relatable lesson. And here's the most important lesson, the one most people completely overlook. These principles don't just apply to governments or entire economies, they apply directly to your personal life. Think about it for a second. If you consistently spend more than you earn, if you rely heavily on credit cards and loans just to maintain your lifestyle, and if you ignore financial planning altogether, then you're following the exact same path. The only difference? The scale. Governments deal in billions or even trillions of dollars. You're dealing in hundreds or thousands. But the outcome? It's almost identical. Debt keeps piling up. Financial stress starts to take over. And eventually, you find yourself stuck, living paycheck to paycheck with no real sense of control. But here's the good news. Once you recognize the pattern, you have the power to break it. By managing your spending, reducing unnecessary debt, and actually planning your finances, you can completely change your trajectory. And that's exactly what separates people who struggle financially from those who build real, lasting wealth. Because whether it's a country or an individual, money doesn't just disappear overnight. It's slowly lost through daily habits, small decisions, and a lack of financial discipline over time. Most people don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. That's why understanding how money really works is so important. If you want to avoid these mistakes, take control of your finances and start building real wealth. Make sure to subscribe, because the next video might completely change the way you see money forever.